Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines we have for you today. Macro investor Raul Pal's in the news talking about assets doubling in price. We'll tell you when. We got RFK Jr., crypto president promise. You're going to want it. We got XLM. Could it be $37 by 2024? We're going to take a look at it. Ripple breaking barriers. You're going to want every single bit of that. Elon Musk, X.com. Is it going to be competition or collaboration? Let's roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, the market is at $1.22 trillion at 1% off this morning. Good morning, everybody. 30,300 plus for Bitcoin right now. And we see 1,800 plus for Ethereum. Tether market cap is now 83.3 billion plus, up 200 billion. And we see XRP is now 47 cents, slipping underneath that crucial 48-cent mark. What could it mean going forward? We'll have to watch it closely. Let's take a look at this very quickly here. It's linked to, and they've got something new coming onto the platform this morning. Little birdie told me you're going to want to know about it. It's Circle, baby. That's right. The company behind USD Coin is going to be on the platform today. I'm asking a favor to not buy it all so I can get a little bit too. Let's not be greedy. Let's think of others. Link is underneath the video. No promises, but I will be buying regardless of whether you do so. Make sure you get it before I do. Click the link underneath the video. All right, take a look at this. This is Raul Pal here. And listen to what he says about assets doubling in price possibly by 2025. Take a listen to this. Well, I have to hit play.
So what I think my hypothesis is that, okay, this is very observable. I think it's going to last, this relationship between assets and the central bank balance sheet because of the mechanism of debasement of currency. And I can forecast out what the business cycle looks like. And I also know the amount of interest payments that need to be made because they happened 3.5 years ago. And I can see how far the balance sheet's going to expand. So the balance sheet right now is what, $6.5 trillion. And it looks like it will get $7 trillion or so. And it looks like it will get to $12 to $14 trillion by the end of 2025. So that puts, and there's a number of other ways I've proven this out in this whole thing. And I'll send you the whole piece myself. I've not really gone public with all of the whole thing of how it works. But in the end, that puts asset prices massively higher than here, hugely higher. So we're looking at more than a doubling of the NASDAQ from here. We're looking at another gigantic crypto run. That's into 2025. So we're seeing huge moves that just come from the debasement.
Now, he's just talking about just a debasement. Now, a lot of people have speculated that we would definitely have some legislation in crypto by 2025. You know, there's some that even believe that we could see stablecoin legislation by the end of this year, certainly in 2024. All of this, and this is outside of the dollar debasement that he's talking about, causing a doubling of prices of assets and a crypto bull run. So we shall see, but there's a few other factors there that really add to the point that Raul Pal's pointing out here. Shout out to him. This here from Molly Elmore, she shares this from CoinGraph. It says Tether signs a memorandum of understanding, a MOU, with the Georgian government to develop blockchain technologies and introduce crypto innovations. She says here, and I tell you, this is a fantastic point. Yet again, the CTO, the Chief Technical Officer of Tether, issues the public statement in the press release. So odd. Where is the CEO? That's his job, press liaison, not the tech lead. Through close collaboration with the government of Georgia, Tether aims to create a flourishing environment for peer-to-peer technology usage, said Paolo Ardanio. So, you know, this is one of the questions we've been asking here for a long time, too. Where is the CEO? Why is the CTO doing all the talking and the face of this company? You know, some people believe that's because Tether has been compromised and has really been under the capture of the Department of Justice because of all the legal activity, that has been alleged, and we don't know that, but, one has to wonder. Then there's this right here. Shout out to Eric Bokunis here, who says, another reason we give spot Bitcoin ETF approval 50% chance. Remember, the SEC just approved last week the leveraged margined future BTF from the SEC approved that. That's not a spot. So this is a spot but Bitcoin ETF approval at 50% chance, is our senior legal analyst says, gives Grayscale a 70% chance of winning the case against the SEC, who could approve BlackRock ETFs as a way to save face using trusted adult TradeFi and stick it to Grayscale. Look, you have to wonder here. If that happens, I have to say there's even more credence to the idea that the SEC is under regulatory capture, sticking it to Grayscale, the outside entity that has grown up inside of crypto, and then awarding possibly a BlackRock ETF, which is the legacy institution inside of the system. This is the kind of stuff we're fighting against here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see what shakes out. But I agree here with Ryan Selkis, which doesn't happen often. And I think John Deaton as well, if I could dare say it. But Ryan says, I'm so angry and tired of being angry. If you defrauded people and used decentralizing tech to hurt people, I want to see you in jail for a long time and to ensure you have no comeback story or road to redemption within this industry. And you know what? Well said, Ryan Selkis. And that reminds me, I'm agreed. We need someone to fight for those who were rug pulled from Phoenix Fire Token. That was someone and a group of people that preyed specifically on the XRP community. I am making a call to action and asking all of you to make a call to action to all of the legal analysts out here to get one of them to take up the fight to represent those who have been harmed in the XRP community by the rug pull of Phoenix Fire Token. DM me if you have any forward motion or ideas to move the ball forward. Just in, presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says he will make sure that your right to use and hold Bitcoin is inviolable, which is you cannot be violated. I want you to hear him say it. It's right here. Shout out to Plan XRP for this one.
Money is as important to freedom as free expression. A government that has the power to starve its citizens when they're disobedient will inevitably turn our entire country into serfs. They monitor our every movement, our communications, our every transaction. And the technologies they use to monitor us can also be used to control us. If it has a good enough excuse, the government can now take away all of our freedoms. Bitcoin is a bulwark against precisely this kind of government and corporate expansion and intrusion. As president, I will make sure that your right to hold and use Bitcoin is inviolable.
And there you have it right there. And I tell you something, as somebody who is going to be a one-issue voter this time around, this is speaking to me. Regardless about how I feel about Bitcoin personally and the four Satoshis who, for some reason, the government agencies try to deny the fact that they know who it is, that frightens me too. I think the right to fight for money is important. And if I could speak to a larger idea here, is that RFK Sr. and JFK were both believed in a lot of different theories to be killed over fighting the monetary system and control that is over top of the United States of America. And here we see the lineage continues. I only hope that the outcome of this story is much different than the other two. Danelle Dixon says exciting times ahead as Bitwage and Vibrant Wallet team up, powered by Stellar, to provide payroll solutions for Argentinians in the international workforce. And this is another wonderful connection happening here, but we also know that Stellar has had some major moves here in the recent days when we see Coinbase and the connection with USDC. There's a big connection there, and it has prompted a conversation about what could happen to XLM Stellar's price. This is not XRP chart, this is XLM. Now we know XLM is the same technology. It is a copy of the XRP ledger taken and started as XLM. Could we see a $2 or $37 XLM price by July of next year? Looking at these different cycles where it took 1,187 days in the first cycle 2 here, and then in cycle 1, we could see a staggering 58,000% surge driving XLM to $37. This is looking at just the legs of history here, right? What we've seen in the past with cycle 1, 2017, 2018, again, using that same if history repeats, these are the two different outcomes we could see if the history on the chart repeats itself in kind. We will keep an eye on it to see what happened. I find it interesting that if we look at like XLM price, it usually sits about a third of where XRP is. Now, I don't know if there's any correlation there, but if there is a correlation there, that would mean at $2, we'd be staring down the barrel of a XRP at $6, right? And then if $37 were to work out, we may be staring down at $120-some XRP. Interestingly enough, those prices have been talked about quite often in the XRP chart world. So we'll keep an eye on it. Shout out to Egg Rat Crypto for that. XRP secures a spot on the prominent Hong Kong index here. Now, this is not like a huge regulator, but it gets a nod, basically, is what we're talking about here, that XRP is being recognized on the price index on this thing. It's not going to move the price of XRP. It's just a recognition, actually a contrast of what we see here in the United States, to be perfectly honest. But there's a lot of reasons to celebrate Ripple and XRP, the digital asset. And this is one of them right here. Ripple breaking barriers, ladies and gentlemen. XRP, IOU, and ERC20 tokens connect seamlessly with XLS-38D specification. It says here, bridging the XRP ledger and the EVM sidechain. I'm not going to read the whole article here because you kind of get what it is. But basically, the new version of the EVM sidechain for XRP ledger is now available on DevNet version 2. It says this version adds support for XRP, IOU, ERC20 token transfer in both directions between the XRP ledger and EVM sidechain. This is very exciting. The new version released at the start of the week allows developers to execute projects and functions faster and utilize popular smart contract language like Solidity while having access to the XRP liquidity and a bridge to the XRP ledger. More developers on the XRP ledger will utilize tools on Ethereum, while the Ethereum ecosystem developers, such as those involved in DeFi, will enjoy expansive liquidity offered by the XRP ledger as well. If I come down here, it is right here. This will bring two of the best and most popular projects, giving developers broader functionality and driving adoption across the two networks. Since their respective launches, Ethereum and Ripple have been in competition, challenging developers to pick and choose between them. With the EVM sidechain, developers can get the best of both. Ultimately, this will drive ETH and XRP prices higher, the writer of this article believes. I tell you, this is exciting to me because this is the kind of interoperability I want to see happen, making it really great in every direction for anyone developing or have already built on either network. Valente states that Ripple and GPI, shout out to Mr. Man for this, offer a win for payment service providers. Take a listen to this. I tell you, Valente, a massive FedNow partner, a massive Ripple partner. What they're going to do for payments is going to be remarkable, and knowing that Ripple is involved in any way is extremely exciting to me. I hope it finds you the same way. Take a listen.
Premium on reducing the cost of doing payment processing. And that's something that payments in the service as a service in the cloud happens to be particularly good at, is helping banks reduce the cost of their infrastructure so they can use those funds for other things. Like, for example, providing more value-added services. And that's really the other side of it. It's not just about cost reduction. It's also about the fact that banks today have to deal with a lot more different kinds of payment types, real-time payments, new cross-border settlement methods like Ripple and GPI.
Hello.
And on the front end, they've got to deal with open banking, APIs, and really becoming value-added service providers.
Let's take into account.
Exactly. So
Yes, there is a lot to take into account. And if we're thinking about Valente being on the back end inside the financial services, and then thinking about something like Elon Musk and X.com being a more front-facing platform for retail consumers, peer-to-peer movement of money here, massive disruption over time to the financial system. Shout out to Mason Versilis for this here. I want to play this quick clip and let you hear this. Is this going to be competition with XRP, or is it going to be collaboration? As Elon Musk believes 50% of the world's financial system will be involved in this new idea of X.com. Take a listen.
Tell me the story.
Years.
Yeah, tell me the story
years.
about X.com.
Well, I mean, way back in the day, the idea was for X or X.com to be an all-encompassing financial services company, or thought kind of in like a infinite information theory way to be the most efficient database for the information that is money. The way that money currently works is, from a practical standpoint, it's still mostly run on mainframes. That's still a thing for banks. It's mostly written in COBOL. It's still mostly batch processing. So actually, the financial system is very slow. It's not secure. You've got all these heterogeneous, complex databases. So if you have a real-time homogeneous database that is just like fundamentally more efficient and doesn't have all the expenses of bank buildings all over the place and bank branches and ATMs, which are increasingly kind of redundant, it can operate way more efficiently. And so essentially, if done right, the X would serve people's financial needs to such a degree that over time it would become, I don't know, maybe half of the global financial system.
Wow.
Or some big number.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the number is, but pretty big. So it would be by far the biggest sort of financial institution, but like I said, not really in the way that people are used.
Well, look, if we think about this in the form of like WeChat over on the other side of the world being used in massive scale, I believe that's what's going on here with Twitter, is turning it into a money services platform as well as a social media app, becoming a super app. The question is will Elon Musk use the XRP ledger back end to help the payments of that platform, or will he build something standalone on his own? I don't know. But I tell you, I think if it was me, I'd want to use something that already works, that's already there. And in the meantime, remember, we just covered the multi-year ascending triangle for XRP, which means we could see a percentage that strengthens as we move through the next year for a rally of XRP breakout here. And it could happen between July of this year and August of 2024, with the odds increasing ever so much all the way through as we move through the year. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.